It is a snow day, as you can see, and it's supposed to keep coming down like this pretty good for the next couple of days. And as you can also see, the bucket for the Great All is still here, despite it being well over a week after the Great All got hauled off. Now remember back in the video of the Great All getting hauled off, I said that my experience with brokers as a shipper and a receiver has been absolutely terrible almost every single time. Well, we're back in that situation. Now, I also told you that in my years of owning trucks and driving trucks, far more than that, I've hauled a grand total of 2 loads for brokers. It's actually the same broker both times, and that one broker is actually very well recommended by people I know, and everything went absolutely great. So when it came time for the buyers to ship out the Great All that's not here anymore, actually, hold on. There it is. They reached out to some brokers and got 2 different quotes. Now, when it came to the 2 they were looking at going with, one was much cheaper than the other, and that broker said they could do the whole deal. Well, actually, both brokers told them they could do the whole deal, but one was significantly cheaper. So they reached out and asked me what I thought, and again, I told them in my 2 decades of trucking, I only have experience with one broker, and that was all good. I don't know anything bad about the other broker that's much cheaper, but I do know good about this one that's more expensive. So they said, you know what, let's do an experiment. Let's ship the machine through one, let's ship the bucket through the other. Let's see what's better, cheap versus expensive, but to play it safe, we're gonna ship the machine through the more expensive one and leave the bucket for the cheaper one. Well, as I said, it's well over a week later and the bucket is still here. Now, to be fair, the driver who came to pick up the Great All was a day later than what was planned for, but it was because there was a big snowstorm in the mountains and he was over on the other side, had to come across, and I said, it's storming here. I own a tow company. I'm probably going to be busy. Totally fine to wait till the next day when the weather clears. So the next day he showed up right on time, a knowledgeable driver with good equipment who knew what he was doing, and everything went really smooth. The Great All is now, as of filming this, already at its new home in Toronto, Canada. No problems at all on the whole trip. Imagine that. This bucket, however, is still sitting here in my yard waiting to get shipped out and is being delayed due to weather. Despite the fact that in between the last snowstorm and this snowstorm, we had plenty of good sunny days where all the roads were dry and clear, but we kept getting told, weather's too bad, can't get there. Actually, the first thing we got told was, couldn't do it because my location is not accessible to trucks. And again, cool story. Then we got told the weather is too bad to ship something of that size. Yet the more expensive broker had no problem shipping the 51,000 pound machine that has to run under overweight permits that have weather restrictions. They were able to coordinate all that to go off without a hitch. So now that brings us back to today, well over a week later, with the bucket still here and all the snow has moved back in, and I get a message this morning from the broker saying the truck is on its way to pick it up. He will be here at some time today. And I said, that's not how this works, because you see, I own a towing company and it is snowing. So if you can't give me a more specific time frame of the day that I need to be here to load them up, don't even bother sending them, because I won't wait around. To which cheap ass broker says, they don't call, they show up when they're ready. To which I say, well, then I will set the bucket on the ground, and if the driver wants to figure out how to get that loaded up into their trailer off of a gravel lot with 4 inches of snow on the ground, they're more than welcome to come try. But if not, don't bother sending them, you're done. So now I'm going to get the old Willys fired up because I got to go to town and do a couple things. I think I even got a winch out to do if the people can't get out by themselves, which it sounds like I think they'll be able to. But either way, I'll keep you updated on how long that bucket sits in my yard. Here's the problem though. The machine is already at its new home in Toronto. They're ready to start using it, and half the buckets for it are still sitting at my yard in Oregon. That's why you go with the quality broker over the cheap one. Okay, I thought I was done, but I came back out here in the cold to give you a little update. I was in there actually putting this video together when the broker for the bucket called me, and he told me that I will be here to load that bucket when the truck shows up, and that's how it's gonna go. And I told him, okay, well, if that's your attitude, end of story right now. I'm cutting this deal off. I'm refusing to let your truck onto my property, and I'm refusing to load him. So figure something out. And then he went up and down, cussed me out, called me a mother effer, all kinds of stuff. So if you want your machine, your equipment type stuff shipped through a reputable broker, Paul with USA Logistics is great. Now, if you want nothing but problems and troubles, no, I'm not going to say his full name, and I'm not going to say which broker company he works for, because people get all litigation happy. Now they have like this YouTube channel and everything. But Kyle, look at me. You are the reason that everybody hates brokers, and people like you are exactly what's wrong with this industry. You're a joke.